Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. Microsoft is busy finalizing our next optional bug fix C-release update for Windows 11, 25 and 24H2 with the release preview channel insiders, which will be KB5070311. And because the update rolled out late yesterday in my region to insiders in release preview, I would suggest that we would start seeing the update roll out to the general public next week, starting the 25th of November. And the update will be optional, so you do not have to install it when it's made available to the general public in just a couple of days' time. Now, we get 22 new features that are all rolling out gradually. So when the update becomes available, you may or you may not see the features and fixes I'm going to talk about in this video at the get-go. So always keep that in mind. Now, the first good couple of features are only for Copilot Plus PCs. So I'm just going to go through these very quickly, just to keep you guys in the loop. Microsoft says as part of the Copilot Plus PCs experience, you can now use Windows Studio Effects, which provides AI-powered camera enhancements on an additional alternative camera, such as a USB webcam or your laptop's built-in rear camera. And then we get two new click-to-do features, where the context menu now has a streamlined design that makes it easier to access frequently used actions like copy, save, share, and open. And whenever a large image or table appears on your screen, the context menu automatically opens, making it quicker and easier to access the actions and results you need. So those are two new click-to-do features. And then for Copilot Plus PCs, the agent in settings, which is not available on a so-called normal or regular PC. But as you may well know, Copilot Plus PCs have an AI agent in settings. And there are three new features for this, where the search results may now display more available results, making it easier to quickly find and modify your settings. And there's a new recommended settings that now makes changes faster by showing an inline agent option for recently modified settings. And there's also a new dialog that now appears when settings can't be adjusted further. So three new AI agent features rolling out for Copilot Plus PCs. And then the last new feature that's only for Copilot Plus PCs is Microsoft says there's a new feature for File Explorer, where the File Explorer search box placeholder text has been updated to highlight the enhanced Windows search. So all of those new features I've just mentioned are only rolling out for Copilot Plus PCs on a gradual rollout. Now, moving on to so-called normal, regular PCs across the board. There's a new feature for Windows Desktop Spotlight, where Microsoft says that if you do enable the feature, now I don't use Spotlight because it's been broken on my stable version now for months, but just to keep you guys posted, when Windows Spotlight is set as your desktop background, the context menu now includes two options. So if you right-click on that, it'll have two new options called Learn More About This Background and Next Desktop Background. And then there's two new drag tray features. The first is drag tray now supports multi-file sharing, which shows more relevant apps and makes it easy to move files to a chosen folder. And you can now turn drag tray on or off by heading to Settings, System, Nearby Sharing. That'll be on this page when it rolls out to the general public. And then just to mention the next one, there's a new feature for keyboard, where the keyboard backlight performance has improved on supported HRD compliant keyboards. And then for File Explorer, there are two new features and three fixes. Nice to see fixes rolling out for the File Explorer. So just to mention these, File Explorer now offers a more consistent dark mode with key actions such as copy, move, and delete dialogs, which have been updated in both default and expanded views. So those are the legacy dialogs and menus that are currently in a light theme, even though you've got dark mode enabled in the stable. Those are all changing to dark mode, hopefully with that next optional update, which is always nice to see, more consistent dark mode. And there's another new feature where Microsoft says it's working on consolidating the share options in the context menu into a single entry point. And there are three fixes. The first is File Explorer may unexpectedly not show thumbnails for video files containing certain EXIF metadata. Then there was an old white toolbar that may sometimes randomly appear in File Explorer. Apparently that's been fixed. And then when you right-click on a file, the icon next to the entry to the open may be generic rather than matching the default app for that file type. So 3 fixes and 2 new features rolling out for File Explorer. And then now heading into settings, where Microsoft says, if we head to our control panel first, keyboard settings for character repeat, delay, and rate and cursor blink rate have been moved from control panel to settings. So that's Microsoft migrating more control panel settings over to the new settings app in Windows 11. And if we head to the settings homepage, there's going to be a new view the device card. Microsoft says you can now view the device card on the settings homepage. Apparently this device card is going to show key specifications on this page and usage details of your PC. So that may be a nice little UI and specs upgrade to the homepage, which I think may be a nice move. And there's going to be a new About in settings. The About page in settings now has an updated layout that organizes device details and related options in one place. So that's going to be interesting to see what that's all about when that rolls out. And then there's a fix for settings which may become unresponsive when attempting to navigate to the network and internet section. So for settings, we get 3 new features and 1 fix. And then just to mention the next, it's a new feature for Windows Hello. Windows Hello Enhanced Sign-In Security, ESS, now supports peripheral fingerprint sensors. And there's a new feature for Windows Share where you can now share OneDrive files through other apps. The options appear under Share using when you select the copy link. You must be signed into your Microsoft account, Microsoft says, to be able to use that new feature. And if we head back into settings, Bluetooth and devices, mobile devices, Microsoft says you can now add and manage your mobile devices in settings, Bluetooth and devices mobile. On this page, you can manage features such as using your device as a connected camera or accessing your device's files in File Explorer. And then for Taskbar and System Tray, there are 2 new features. There is 1 new feature and 2 fixes. The first is Microsoft says it's updating the animations that appear when hovering over app groups on the taskbar, so that as you slide between apps, you can now see the preview transition. So that's a UI interface tweak. And then the automatically hide taskbar setting, which is this setting, may unexpectedly turn off after seeing a message saying a toolbar is already hidden on the side of your screen. So that's been fixed, and that could be a niggly issue, which is nice to see that's been sorted out. And then Microsoft says there's a fix for voice access, apparently which wasn't working correctly when attempting to interact with the taskbar. Calling out a number may not invoke that item. And then if we head back to settings, system, and recovery, and quick machine recovery. On PCs with the settings, quick machine recovery, and automatically check for solutions. When both are enabled, quick machine recovery now runs a one-time scan by default instead of repeating scans in a loop. And then heading to widgets, where there are 2 new features. Microsoft says you can now choose a default dashboard in widget board settings. So when live weather is showing, the widget board opens the first dashboard in your navigation bar instead of the most recently used one, making the experience consistent. And there's apparently new dashboard icons in the widget navigation bar that now show numbers that correspond to the number of alerts from your dashboard. So those are 2 new features for widgets. And then if we head into our accounts, I already have this in the stable. I don't know if you can see that correctly, but the new OneDrive icon is now in accounts and home pages in settings. And that's the new OneDrive icon. Just to give you a better look at this, if I just quickly head into my C drive and we head to Microsoft OneDrive, this is what it looks like. So that's going to be rolling out in accounts and home pages in settings with this next update. And then for lock and login screens, there are two fixes. The first is it may be very slow for the first time when logging into a new account. And the second is fixing a memory leak, which is good to see. That's a performance fix so when your lock screen is set to slideshow, there may be a memory leak. Memory leaks can lead to performance or reliability issues over time, as you may well know. And then the last two to mention for this video, guys, quite a lot going on as always with these optional updates. There's an improvement and a fix for display and graphics that I'm just going to let you know about. Microsoft says it's improved the performance when apps query monitors for their full list of supported modes. And then the last one is recently certain games, Microsoft says, may show a message saying unsupported graphics card detected. Although a supported graphics card is used, that's been fixed. And then there's some others taking place under the hood, guys. So all those new features and fixes I've mentioned are going to be rolling out over the next couple of days in our next optional bug fix C-release update for Windows 11, 25 and 24H2, KB5070311. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.